Well, welcome everybody to the first episode of what we're calling Monsters Flashback. It's presented by HDS Brand Solutions for your promotional merchandise, print solutions, brand management, and corporate apparel needs. Visit hdsideas.com. Tony Brown here with you in our shelter-in-place, stay-at-home period of time here, but thinking about Monsters hockey and happy to be joined with my regular broadcast partner, Jock Callender. Jocko, it's good to see you. Thanks for taking some time.
Oh, no problem. And it's good to see you, Tony, and hope to see you more soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm here in the Cleveland area, but Jock is out in California right now. But Jock, we're going to go all the way back to the start of January for our first Monsters Flashback episode. We're talking, of course, about the first game of Lumberjacks weekend. Now, that was a huge weekend for fans in Cleveland to not only see those uniforms, but remember all the good times, that the Lumberjacks had back in the IHL days. And for you, I'm sure that was a memorable couple of games as well, just to sort of harken back to all those glory days.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. The jerseys brought back a lot of memories, and you got to see a couple old teammates there. And the Monsters played the best weekend of hockey of the season up to that point.
Yeah, and that's why we're talking about it. So just to set the table a little bit, we already know the outcome. The game we're examining tonight was a 3-2 overtime win against the number one team in the AHL at the time, the Milwaukee Admirals. Stefan Matteau scored the overtime winner, but Jock, it was a statement win, wasn't it? I mean, the way that the Monsters competed against a quality opponent there and proved something to themselves and their fans.
Yeah, it was a great win, and what a great game all around, both ways by both teams. It was an exciting game, a crowd, and it was a lot of fun all around, and to win in overtime put the icing on the cake.
Surely did. Without further ado, let's take a look. It's the Monsters' big 3-2 overtime win against Milwaukee. Enjoy this Monsters Flashback.
Central Division at the 2020 AHL All-Star Classic as the head coach of that team, and on the other side, Mike Eaves in his first year with the Monsters. The puck is down at center. We're underway in the opening frame of this one as two old IHL rivals look the part tonight. The Monsters in their white Lumberjacks uniforms are left to right in this first period, and the Admirals in their old IHL threads, green tops with those blue numerals. They are right to left, the top affiliate of the NHL's Nashville Predators. Chance for Cleveland right off the hop here as a shot from the right point by Clendenning rattled around in front of Ingram there and nearly stashed home by Stefan Matteau. Take a look at our officials tonight. It's assigned by the American Hockey League, a four-man crew. Brandon Biggers and Reed Anderson, the referees, the linesmen C.J. Murray and Brendan Lewis. Right side, offensive zone, the first face-off inside the Admiral end for Cleveland. We'll see Justin Scott take the draw. Scott back from a brief call-up, but a call-up nonetheless to the NHL's Columbus Blue Jackets. He was a healthy scratch in Boston last night. Back with the Monsters/Lumberjacks today. Here's Milwaukee into the offensive zone for the first time, as this puck will rattle back towards the left point, be grabbed there and fed D to D. Drive from the right point, snagged by Vehvilainen and held off the stick of Matt Donovan. These Admirals are no joke, just underway in this first period and scoreless, but far from scoreless this year for the league's top team. The Admirals are 24-5-3-2, 12-3-3 on the road, and 1-0 against Cleveland. So Veini Vehvilainen and the rest of the Monsters will have their hands full tonight, no doubt about it. Right side of the offensive zone, Milwaukee had a crack to possess off the draw, and now they do. He skated in behind the net, worked back to the left point. With it there, fed to the right point, another drive. This time Donovan sent it wide of the cage. Held in on the left point there by one of the recent arrivals, Adam Smith for the Admirals. Called up as Alexander Carrier, the great defenseman for Milwaukee, was recalled by NHL Nashville earlier today. Take a look at our injury and scratch report presented by University Hospital Sports Medicine on the bottom of your screen. See a couple of familiar names there, including Scott Savage, who's a healthy scratch for Milwaukee today, but played a bit of a role for Cleveland last season as an ECHL call-up player out of Boston College. And for the Monsters, one return from injury, Calvin Turkoff today, but five guys still out of the lineup for the Monsters, battling a variety of ailments. Ryan Collins, Brian Moore, Zach Dalpe still out. as is Marcus Hannakainen and Marco Dano. So some important players for the Monsters there. No score. Almost 2 minutes into this opening period. Monsters and the Milwaukee Admirals. Here's a long shot for Cleveland. Good tip there on the Bittner release at the front of the net. It was Turcoff getting a piece of it, but the puck ricochets out of play. Hey fans, the Monsters would like to thank University Hospital Sports Medicine, the Vision Development Team, Eastlake Dental Arts, and Bubanic Chiropractic for being the official medical team of the Cleveland Monsters. They have been busy as of late. Monsters without some key players, but just like their National Hockey League affiliates in Columbus, soldiering on and finding a way. Face off in the offensive zone for the Monsters here. It's pushed out to center. Grabbed by Milwaukee and fired into the Cleveland zone. Vavalainen out of his net. Plays it around the left side. Hacked at there by the Monsters' Brett Gallant. It'll ricochet to the neutral ice area, be captured, and fired back in deep by the veteran Matt Donovan for the Admirals. Toss back out to center. It's Healy, not Donovan, beg your pardon, going off the glass near side. Tracked on the Cleveland blue line by Adam Clendenning. He'll spin a pass up ice. Fortier reaches out, can't quite get a piece of it, and now tossed by Ingram, the former Tampa Bay Lightning goaltending prospect, back to center as the Monsters dump it in. Well, Jock, a little late in arriving, but good to have you back upstairs here as this puck is covered by Ingram, scoreless between the Lumberjacks and the Milwaukee Admirals. That was a great moment down on the ice with a couple of former teammates for you for the ceremonial face-off.
Yeah, it's always good to see former teammates and have a few laughs. We signed some autographs, and Jeff Christian, who's always been quite the character, he had me rolling down there.
I am sure of that. Defensive zone face-off here for Milwaukee. Jock, in talking about this Admirals team, it's tough to know where to begin. They have so many areas in which they excel, and this year they're really head and shoulders above the rest of their division and really the rest of the league.
Yeah, they're goals for and against, power play, penalty kill, all the statistics you want, goaltending statistics. They're up there in the top, probably three to five in every category.
Bouncing puck at center, grabbed by Cleveland's Trey Fix-Wolansky, fires it down deep. Far corner, defensive zone. There is a collision between Mateau and the puck carrier Lucas Craggs, and Mateau has it in the left side of the O zone for Cleveland. Fires towards the net, touched by Sherwood, poked to the second effort, and it just trickles wide left to the goalpost, belonging to Ingram. Good chance early for the Monsters.
And I talked to Ford, who Scott Ford, who coaches with Milwaukee, who played here with the Barons in the Cleveland hockey. And he said they've had all the right things, had guys down from Nashville for a while. Their goaltending's been really good, so he said that everything's fallen into place so far.
Long way to go, but so far so good for Milwaukee. Spinning opportunity for Schneider, cycles it into the far corner of the Cleveland zone. Coming up just over, in fact, the 4-minute mark of this scoreless opening period. Down from the right point, navigating through traffic. This carried all the way to the left point and hammered down the wall there by the defenseman Donovan. Offensive-minded, his numbers belie that fact. Monsters now break out. Here's Cole Sherwood, one-on-one with Donovan at center, releases a shot that was blocked, and then chases the puck into the near corner, and big hit there for Sherwood as the puck is held in at the right point. Clendenning, left point, Carlson, a wrister, and that one wide. Off the mark is Clendenning, fires through the slot, and it deflects towards Sherwood in the far corner. In talking to Cole since his return from Columbus and his return from injury, Jock, he says, and his head coach Mike Eaves says, with Sherwood, it's all about seeking consistency because we know he's got the tools.
Oh, definitely. When he's skating and playing physical, and you see that here so far this first two shifts, and he has got a couple chances already because of that intensity, that physicality that he's so good when he plays with.
Just over 5 minutes gone in period one. No score in their IHL throwback jerseys. The Cleveland Monsters, I guess you could call them the Lumberjacks tonight and tomorrow, in the Milwaukee Admirals. No score in this opening stanza. Dumped in from center by Sam Vigneault for Cleveland and retrieved behind the net. Here comes Josh Healy on the breakout. Will connect up the left side of center with Tommy Novak. Novak across the line, dumps it into the near corner of the Monsters zone. Picked up there by one of Novak's college teammates, the University of Minnesota. That's the Monster defenseman, Steve Johnson. High slot now carried. Gerdukis for the Monsters. Backhanded one down. No shot on goal, but it ends up at the right point for Johnson. Left point Simpson into the circle. Shoots one. Never got through to the goaltender Ingram, but following the play, a wraparound for Simpson and a save by the Admiral netminder.
Good job by Dylan Simpson there, coming all the way around. The Monsters have started here with great intensity.
Good pass ahead. Here is Abbott Gerdukis. He's been with ECHL Toledo this year, signed to a PTO recently by the Monsters. One of several players contributing from lower levels. Up ice, here's a chance. Milwaukee drop pass and a release from Richard. Grabbed and held by Vevalainen. Good save. And that'll send us to our first timeout. 13:42 to go in the opening period. Scoreless at the Fieldhouse. More to come between the Lumberjacks and Admirals. Well, that was Monsters head coach Mike Eaves discussing his goaltender Veini Vevalainen and his performance on Tuesday, New Year's Eve in Toronto. 4-1 win for the Monsters, 28 saves for Vevalainen. And Jock, with Jonas Korpisalo getting injured in Columbus, Matisse Kivlenix getting called up. It's Veini's show right now in net for Cleveland, and he is thriving.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of action. We saw that Matisse's first year where there was injuries, and he got thrown into action, probably playing more than they anticipated, and that'll happen here with Veini also.
A little shot from the left point for Healy as we're back to action here. Scoreless with 4 minutes left in the opening period. And behind the Monsters net, Admirals working hard in tight quarters there. Daniel Carr, last year's AHL MVP, run off possession. The Monsters ice it, a foot race that Sherwood, again, is just barely unable to win. And the faceoff will come back inside the defensive zone for the Monsters. Cole Sherwood's an interesting case right now, Jock. We mentioned him earlier, but he's a guy that played a couple of games for Columbus last year, a couple of games earlier this season, got hurt. But again, at this level, when he can put it together night to night, he can be a dominant player.
Yeah, physically he is strong. He skates fast. He punishes guys. He's got a great shot. He's a natural goal scorer, probably the most natural goal scorer, maybe besides Zach Dalpe, I would say, on the team.
I would tend to agree with you as it's icing again against Milwaukee.
But yeah, no, he was playing well in Columbus. He only got a few games, but he was playing well, and then he got injured, which is just bad luck. And now, with all the guys up right now, you never know. You just have to play well here. If a guy up there stumbles a little bit, then they interchange guys, and that's the greatness of Columbus and Cleveland being 2 hours away. They can interchange guys on a day-to-day basis. So. It makes for good competition between the guys.
Another play in which the Monsters sent the puck the length of the ice. The only difference this time, it was on net. Ingram covers. The Monsters can get fresh skaters, and they'll have an offensive zone face-off too. Ingram's an interesting story too, the goaltender for the Admirals. He was in the Tampa Bay system, played in Syracuse last year. He was an all-star in the American League last year, but fell out of favor in the second half. And he was in Orlando in the ECHL, but finds a new home with the Predators organization, and he's having a tremendous year.
Yeah, you just get a chance and you get some confidence. You see that even with the guys Columbus has called up for the Monsters. They're up there, they get their chance, and they're playing with confidence and playing well. With the Blue Jackets having a better record with all the Monsters in the lineup than they did before. It's crazy. You just never know. It's such a great game, and sometimes you just need a chance, and then you get a little confidence, and then all of a sudden it rolls.
Well, it's been fun to watch in Columbus. Monsters working in the offensive zone here. Just 3:10 left in the first period. Puck came out to center. Good to see Calvin Turcoff back in the lineup after an upper body injury. Kept him out for 3 games. Up ahead, here's Vigneault. Drives on the right wing, backhanded from a sharp angle, missed the net, but now it's sent back down behind the Milwaukee cage as Bittner for the Monsters is out to the right point for Doyle Summerby. Backs into the near corner, protecting the puck off his right hip, gets it back to his forehand, goes D-to-D with the left defenseman Prapavesis. Down the left wall now, Prapavesis carries, centers, and the shot for Turcoff. Skipped away off his skate, back to the far wall as Turcoff is pushed off possession, and the Admirals exit their defensive zone and dump it in.
Nice play by Prapavesis. He just faked the shot and then went around the guy and threw it to Turcoff, who got the puck away real quick. Just got blocked by one of the defensemen.
Salamaki took it from Summerby, but the Monsters take it right back. Here's Gerdukis into the near corner of his offensive zone. And behind the net, it was chopped towards the front of the cage, and Gallant sent it off his stick back to Clendenning. His sharp angle Centering feed off a shin pad. Back now for Gallant, covering inside his own zone. Bangs it off the end wall, and Anton Carlson nudges it up to the blue line. Held in, though, by the Admirals. Pass just out of the reach in the near circle of Eli Tolvanen. Good play off the near corner kick plate by Clendenning to find Carlson. Now it's Fortier, but he chips one into the Admiral bench to stop the clock. 1:47. All that remains in period number one. Still no score. The shot's 8-6 in favor of the Monsters. Max Fortier is another player. Started the season in the ECHL on an NHL contract, but trying to work his way into the lineup in Cleveland. He's shown great speed this year, and he's really enjoying this chance to play. You can tell just being around him.
Yeah, you just need the opportunity, like we said earlier. And sometimes at the start of the year, especially, everyone's healthy and a lot of numbers. So guys have to make decisions. Sometimes guys have to sit out or go down. Whether it's the right decision or not, it's made. Then you have to make the best of it.
Now a penalty is coming up against Milwaukee. Monsters headed to the power play on the delayed call. Mateau through, one-timer, they score! Anton Carlson from the left side, and the Monsters grab the 1-0 lead.
Well, what a great pass by Stefan Mateau there, and Anton Carlson did the right thing. He just got it away. He didn't care how hard it was. He just got it away quick, and then it just squeezed through the legs of the goaltender. And a good job by Carlson. He just redirected it. Didn't get a ton on it, but it was there quick enough before the goaltender could react.
18:32 of the first period. Second goal of the season for Anton Carlson, making the transition to North America after 5 years in his native Sweden in the SHL. It's an even strength goal. The primary assist goes to Stefan Mateau, the secondary to Trey Fix-Wolanski, and so much for that power play. The Monsters don't need it. They score on the delayed call. So 1-0 lead for Cleveland off the ensuing draw. The Admirals dump into the Monsters zone. Hard hit in the near corner, turns into a four-man fight for a loose puck. 1 minute left in this opening stanza now, as the Monsters play from ahead after the goal for Carlson. Sherwood's pass off the mark there. Out at center now, it'll be tucked back inside the line by Carr. It speeds it back towards the right point, spit to the left circle, released, and the shot blocked by Simpson there. Creeping in from the left point was Jeremy Davies, but Avalainen never had to make a save because Simpson stepped in front of that release. Back out to the blue line, left point, loading, firing. Davies again has it blocked by Simpson, and it's banged off the near glass by Scott with 35 seconds left in the period. Penalty here as Santini took down the on-charging Monsters forward. That was Stan DeSalvo, and so
he was going after the ref and he toe picked.
Now that's just karma at work there.
But I was going to say, how many times have the goalies this year said, here's the puck coming, and then Dylan Simpson stops it. He blocks more shots. But that was a good call. There's the goal again. Just squeezes through.
So Santini gets 2 minutes for his interference on DeSalvo, and then gets a little bit of embarrassment to endure too as he fell down, making his way to the box.
He was all excited chasing the ref.
So here's that second Monsters power play. They're 0 for 1. And it comes here with just 29.5 seconds left in the first period. Monsters up 1-0 on a tally for Anton Carlson moments ago, his second in the AHL. Monsters win the draw, but crossing their wires on a pass were Clendenning and Mateau. Back to retrieve inside his defensive zone is Adam Clendenning. 15 seconds left to try and get a cheap one here at the end of the period. Up ice, Mateau ducked around a man, has it far corner. Under 10 seconds left in the period. Admirals get a clearance, and that will likely spell the end of this first period. But as the horn sounds, Jock, in 20 minutes is in the books. The Monsters/Lumberjacks have a 1-0 lead on Milwaukee. That in itself is important. It's a great start to the hockey game against a tough opponent. And any way you slice it, 1-0 after one's a positive thing.
Well, how about that? An exciting first period to get us going here on our Monsters Flashback episode number 1. This, of course, great segment is presented by HDS Brand Solutions for your promotional merchandise, print solutions, brand management, and corporate apparel needs. Please visit hdsideas.com. It's our first intermission, and we're joined by, of course, our first intermission guest. It's the Monsters' longtime director of game operations. Matt Bettinger is here with us, and Matty, What a fun weekend Lumberjacks weekend was altogether. Just a chance to celebrate the great history of hockey in Cleveland, but specifically these wonderful uniforms. Let's there. Working with our design team, how much fun was it to get these uniforms looking just as sharp as they did?
Well, thanks for having me, Tony. And it's a 90s night, Lumberjacks night always puts an extra pep in people's step around the office. The design team with the jerseys and the graphics and our video production team loves diving into the old stuff. And I mean, we literally had VHS tapes and scanning through those things. And it just blows your mind on some of the promotions they did back then that we could never do again. But we loved highlighting them, and you always see the extra smile on fans' faces. And I wasn't here in the 90s. I was in college. But it always brings an extra smile on their face and a lot of energy in the house, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown away talking to fans during that weekend and even after that weekend. I wasn't maybe surprised that they loved it so much, but I mean, people were really, really excited to see those colors back onto the ice, to see some of those familiar videos. I know my favorite thing was the old Lumberjacks Open that you guys found with Buzz the Beaver skating the woods. Unreal. I'm sure it was so much fun just finding all those great nuggets and talking to people that were there back in the Lumberjacks days about what made Lumberjacks hockey so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a new arena back then, and so people hadn't seen it on that kind of scale before. And obviously the guys were some legendary kind of characters on those teams, not to mention, of course, Jock Calendar, our very own and beloved. And see him in his heyday and in his, in the mix, they're just crushing guys and scoring all the time. And, it's just awesome. We always look forward to whenever we can get back to those games.
For sure. And Maddie, the other thing I wanted to ask you, it seemed to be a totally immersive game night experience that weekend too, because you had the opponent wearing their throwback uniforms too on the Humongotron, even the score bug and all that stuff was sort of the era. As somebody who does so many cool things with our game presentation every weekend throughout the year, this one had to stand out for you, right? Just to make it so complete and so all inclusive.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of debate or arm twisting to get people to buy in, from the dance team, from the guest services team, the sales team, the video production team. They always love turning the clock back to the 90s and the bright colors, and obviously the music plays into it a lot. Everyone's got their favorites, their parents' favorites, and things like that. And obviously the players responded in kind with a fantastic game on the ice that was made for a great weekend.
Well, that is our game operations guru, Matt Bettinger. He has calling the show for every single Monsters game that has ever happened. He's the best in the biz. Matt, thanks for taking a few minutes.
My pleasure. Anytime.
All right. With that, he mentioned the game on the ice. Let's get back to it. Time for the second period of the Monsters' 3-2 overtime win on the 3rd of January on Lumberjacks weekend. Up next, it's the middle frame as our Monsters Flashback continues, presented by HDS Brand Solutions.
All good things there for the Monsters. The first period, a good start, but two big periods coming up here, Jock. And importantly, a minute and a half to work on the power play to begin the second period.
Yeah, you want to do a better job of that last power play. Just couldn't even enter the zone there. They dump it in, and Milwaukee would throw it right back down. So they got to go into those corners and win those battles. So they can get something set up and try to get some shots.
Puck is down at center, underway in the middle frame of this one. Monsters in their Lumberjacks throwback uniforms, white uniforms from right to left in this first period at Rocket Mortgage. Second period from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse with Kenny Rhoda downstairs and Jock Calendar here in the booth. I'm Tony Brown here with you. And of course in green, the Admirals from left to right in this middle stanza. Monsters on the power play for another minute here. They're 0 for 1 with the extra man, trying to extend their 1-0 lead. Sam Vigneault lost control, but it's poked towards the front of the net and sent wide of the cage by Sherwood. Fix-Wolanski down the left wall into the middle, but the Admirals turn over the Monsters and clear. Vehvilainen out of his net there to get to that puck before it hit the restricted area. Back down for the capture of Clendening with fresh personnel on the ice for Cleveland. 30 seconds left with which to work on the power play. Unable to get that puck in deep there was Fortier. Turns into a clearance for the Admirals, and Clendening back to collect in his own zone.
Milwaukee's penalty kill does a good job at their own blue line, forcing you to dump it and then getting to the dump first and getting it out.
Monsters now down to just 10 seconds left on their second power play. Clendening starts out of his defensive zone, fires one on net. Save was made by Ingram, the Milwaukee netminder, as the penalty expires, and the Admirals are 2 for 2 on the PK. Clendening, right point, has his shot float off a body and out. That'll stop the clock with 18:25 to go in the second period. Well, the Monsters scored first tonight. That means every fan in attendance can take their ticket. It's good for a half-off, medium, one-topping, a pizza at Saucy Brewworks just down the road from downtown on Detroit Avenue. Dine-in only. Tickets can be redeemed Sunday through Thursday for 1 week following the Monsters scoring first. For more info, visit saucybrewworks.com. Jock, that's some fine pizza down there at Saucy.
It is very good pizza, and the beer's pretty good too.
It is never a disappointing trip when you head down Detroit Avenue for Saucy Brewworks. Hopefully a lot of fans will enjoy Anton Carlson's first goal of this game. Here's a chance for Cleveland. High shot off the helmet. It looked like of Ingram as DeSalvo went upstairs and was denied by Ingram's face mask. Chopped into the Cleveland zone. The Admirals trying to grab some momentum here. Pass towards Gaudreau in the Cleveland slot. Drifts back to the right point. Dragging Santini, goes D to D. In the left circle, a centering feed off the legs of Calvin Turcoff. Back to the line as Milwaukee will skate it to the right side. Down the wall, slamming on the brakes. That's Davies. His pass again off of Turcoff. Turcoff goes off the glass but can't clear the zone. And it's back for Calvin to just shove ahead a few more feet, as he'll have to do better than that to get a line change, with the long change a factor in the middle frame.
Yeah, and that line is dying right now. Gallant and Turcoff need to get off.
Here's Prapavesis, left circle of his own zone. Out to center as we approach the 3-minute mark of the second period with Cleveland leading 1-0. Here's Milwaukee threatening. Left circle, toe drag, shot was blocked though. Summerby with a good stick. Now Fix-Wolanski has it for Cleveland. His pass to Gallant. Off his stick, and it's fed ahead by Donovan. Here come the Admirals again. Salamaki, high slot, fired one wide. Grabbed on the near side and fed out to the right point. Donovan shoots one high and wide to the right of Vehvilainen off the glass. Salamaki recovers, uses the end wall to feed it to the near half boards. With it there, Eli Tolvanen. Tolvanen back towards that right point. On his offhand, spins back down the near wall. Drags around one man, that was Fix-Wolanski, and then retreats as it's fed to the right point. Skated to the center blue there by Tommy Novak. Novak back to the line. Smith a drive, saved by Vehvilainen, rebound, tossed out of the Cleveland end. And still no line change as it's icing, and the Monsters will be pressed into their own zone. Log on to clevelandmonsters.com/Musselman to enter to win, and be sure to pick up Musselman's applesauce at your local grocery store. So it is 4-on-4, but the Monsters have a 5-minute major on the board for Bittner, as this is chipped wide of the net there. Olivier has 2 minutes on the board, so 4-on-4 for now, but then at the end of the 2 minutes for Olivier, it'll be a 3-minute Admiral power play.
Well, I think Bittner got Summerby's penalty, to tell you the truth. If I was a betting man.
Well, we will wait and see if things get sorted out on the game sheet. They're not quite there yet. Monsters, though, at 4-on-4 now, break out of their own zone with a 1-0 lead, and just 9 minutes left in the second period. Fortier with a good spin move through center, but had the puck pushed away before he could turn and fire on the Admiral cage. Richard feeds back behind the Milwaukee net now, and here come the Admirals. Hitting his own blue line, Donovan up the left side. Richard through center, at it poked away from him by Vigneault, who's been very good tonight. Into the O-zone, Scott on the left wing for Cleveland. Down the near wall, pushed off in the corner. Worked on by Donovan, gets it down low to Vigneault, and he will churn the legs up the near boards, protect the puck, peel free in the high slot, gets around another poke check from Richard, and he's all the way around the world back behind the net.
Bring around the Rosie here.
Still carries it out to the high slot. Finally drops it off for Steve Johnson. Johnson lugs left circle, centering pass off Scott's skate. Tough break as it bounces to center.
He was going for Vigneault back door. They had Sam Vigneault was wide open there, and Johnson just missed and hit Scott's skate. If it gets over to Vigneault, he's by himself.
After about 35 crossovers there, 3,500 of them, you'd think a scoring chance would be his reward. Almost. Into the offensive zone. Smith fired wide for Milwaukee. 8 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Then that 3-minute power play for the Admirals. Monsters protecting a 1-0 lead. Under 8 to go in period 2. Out of the box is Olivier. So now the power play for Milwaukee. It's their third. And again, they've got the best man-up unit in all of the American League this year. 1-0 Cleveland. They want to keep it that way. Up the near side of the Monsters' defensive end. Hacked out to center by Mateau. Grabbed there by Davies. And he's inside his defensive zone to try and regroup. Monsters get Mateau off. He's replaced by Cole Sherwood. And the Monsters force a turnover on their own blue line, but Milwaukee recovers as Davies has it on that left point. Tossed back out towards the line. Davies hacks it free. Here's Frederick Gaudreau. Gaudreau back to Davies. Right side, it's Carr from the dot. Cross zone feed, high slot, jammed on the release. Back to Carr. Right face-off dot. Oh, and he was trying to connect with Gaudreau, but it's through the wickets.
Good stick by Summerby, who tipped that pass.
At center, the Monsters come away with possession now. Turkoff spins and wastes no time in clearing and getting a change. 1:55 to go on the penalty.
Got to really make sure you get the puck down on the penalty kill with the long change in this period.
Pass through the slot, deflects down to the near corner, pushed around to the far wall of the Monster zone. Milwaukee fires it around the end boards out towards the right point. Able to be held in there by Novak. Out to the line, Tolvanen, left circle, fired and scored. It's Donovan on the power play, and the Admirals have tied the game at 1. Pass ahead off his skate. Scott couldn't reel it in. The Admirals regroup. And we've got just 1:10 left in what's been a very exciting second period.
Yeah, this is a energetic
and behind
game.
The play, we've got a fight. Mateau drops the gloves at center. He's got Josh Healy, and they will grapple on the Admiral blue line. Big overhead right. Oh, and another good one for Mateau as Healy's hanging on by a thin thread. Oh, recovers another stinging right hand.
That's a bomb.
And down goes Healy as Mateau sends the fieldhouse into the stratosphere.
This, you can just see all this bubbling up. It is so chippy out there.
Yeah, just ask Josh Healy. Bang! And we'll be back with 1 minute left in the second. We're going at each other tonight.
Oh, there's some hitting, there's fighting, and you know, even with the Monsters, you see a lot of hitting, but you don't see the fighting as much as it was in the old days. But there's some fighting going on here.
Under 1 minute to go in this second period now. One quick note from ice level: we're told that Dan DeSalvo, who was injured earlier, not expected to return. Here's Simpson chopping from center. Feeds it all the way down. Final minute, second period. Monsters would love to reclaim the lead late. Loose behind the net. Sherwood feeds it out to the right point. Shot attempt from Simpson was blocked. Back to retrieve inside his own zone is Doyle Summerby. Monsters are currently down to 10 forwards, Jock. No Bittner, as he had the game misconduct, and no DeSalvo. Across the line, here's Scott, drops off, Sherwood releases. That one went wide of the net, and then Sherwood take it out with a dirty play in the near corner. An immediate penalty called against Davies, and the Monsters should calm down and take the power play right now as long as Sherwood's okay.
Yeah, that could be a 5 if Bittner's was a 5.
No doubt. Right to the face, and down he went.
These refs have got to get control of this quick here. It's spiraling here a little bit.
Take a look on your screen. You see along the left edge upstairs. That's a cross check.
That is a cross check. Yes.
No question. Easy call. The official made it. We'll see if there's 2 or any more minutes added to this you can't call it anything but a dirty play from Davies as the puck was no longer in the area. Just a 2-minute minor for cross-checking. Only 8.7 seconds left in the second period. But with this game tied and all of this nastiness here in this second period, this third period is really primed to be a good one.
And if you got a chance, I'd get tickets for tomorrow's game.
Draw one back. Monsters trying to beat the buzzer. 5 seconds left. Glendenning doesn't have a shooting lane. Turns, fires anyway. Blocked by Donovan as the horn sounds and the second period is over. The Admirals find a way to equalize in the second period with a Donovan power play goal, but after 40 minutes of play, all square at 1 apiece.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are right in the middle of the action on our Monsters Flashback, presented by HDS Brand Solutions for your promotional merchandise, print solutions, brand management, and corporate apparel needs. Visit hdsideas.com. Very excited to have Stefan Matteau with us here on Monsters Flashback. And Stefan, before we get into the stuff about today's game, how are you guys holding up, you and the family, in this strange period of social distancing?
Yeah, it is strange. We're actually doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. We're watching the little one grow every day, which is pretty special to have that time. And we're starting to pack up slowly and head home until we hear otherwise. And then we just kind of go from there. We're taking it day by day right now.
Yeah, aren't we all? But glad to hear that. So let's talk a little bit about this game we're looking at today. It was from January the 3rd. You guys were taking on the Milwaukee Admirals at the time, the top team in the American Hockey League, and a big win. And you certainly factored in with the overtime game-winning goal there and a multi-point performance. Those overtime winners, that was kind of a theme for you this year. I think you had three or four of them this season. What makes playing in overtime so much fun for you?
It's just you have so much room, right? You have so much room, and I was out there with Fixie, I think, when I scored that one, and he's like a little water bug out there, and he was gaining more and more confidence throughout the year. So, if I remember correctly, he made that nice move to the middle and then kind of threw it to me and kind of sucked those two D-men towards him, and then I just had to shoot it as quick as I could and then went in. But I haven't scored many overtime goals in this year. Luckily, a few of them went in, and it was a pretty cool feeling.
Certainly was, a big part of winning in Cleveland is doing so in front of those great fans. I mean, huge crowds, and that was one of the first really big crowds of the year, that game on January the 3rd. What did it mean to you when you were with the Monsters to know that for visiting AHL teams coming in that you guys would have a huge edge in terms of the environment when you're playing at home?
It's awesome. Like I've played against them on the road before, and the big building, it's intimidating. The fans are great, and then being on the other side of it, being part of the home team and being into the crowd and feeling their support, it was awesome. It was really cool, and I have nothing but great things to say about Cleveland hockey.
Yeah, it was a great year for you. Started with the Monsters, took advantage of that opportunity and parlayed that into a great opportunity at the next level with the Columbus Blue Jackets. When you think to the Monsters, the coaching staff there led by Mike Eaves and really the entire operation in Cleveland, how did they help you get to where you wanted to end up this year, which is where you did end up in the NHL?
It was great. I came in with the mentality and just a 1-year AHL contract, and I really played like I had nothing to lose, and came in with a hungry mentality, and I feel like they saw that early on and gave me every opportunity to succeed. And every day I treated it as a new day, and stayed within the battle and in my own head, and I just kept working hard, knowing that good things would happen if I kept that mentality, and gladly they did. And too bad it got cut short. Things were going well, and in Columbus, being part of that race was awesome. And hopefully, we get back to things soon.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate the time here today, Stefan. Thanks for everything you did for the Monsters this season so far. And just like you said, we hope to get back to hockey before long. But in the meantime, stay safe and all the best to you and your family.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. You as well.
All right, that is Stefan Matteau, and without further ado, time to get back to the action with more of your Monsters Flashback presented by HDS Brand Solutions.
Power play for Cleveland to begin this third period that will last for a minute and 51 more seconds after that Davies cross-check upstairs on Sherwood at the end of the middle period. Puck down at center, underway in the third. Tied at 1, the Monsters on the power play. At Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Tony Brown here with you, joined upstairs by Chalk Callender. Down at ice level, you just heard from the third member of our team. That's Kenny Rhoda. Monsters wearing their Cleveland Lumberjacks IHL-era throwback uniforms work from left to right in white in this third period, in green from right to left. The Admirals sporting some pretty cool IHL throwbacks too. Here's Fix-Wolansky trying to work it out to the high slot. Vigneault grabs a puck that deflected into the air. Now fed behind the net, Calvin Turkoff ladles it out, right point, Fix-Wolansky for Cleveland to Clendenning at the center blue, back to Trey Fix-Wolansky, creeps in, drops off for Clendenning, fires towards the net, it's saved by Ingram. Heat-seeking missile there up high, and Ingram fought it off.
Well, that's what they got to do. They got to get traffic there and just shoot.
Monsters still controlling, 50 seconds left in the power play. It's Cleveland's fourth. They're 0 for 3. Fix-Wolansky into the right circle. Saucered one down low that Turkoff couldn't control. Able to be held in by Vigneault very nicely, though, on the left point, and he powers it around the end boards as Fix-Wolansky recovers on the right wing. 35 seconds left, turned over, though, and it's cleared by Dauphin towards the end of this Admiral penalty kill.
Good job by Vigneault keeping that in, showing some hands there. That puck was coming around quick.
Monsters back into the offensive zone. 15 seconds left on the power play. Left point Clendenning into the left circle, Scott. And Derek Barash picked up his head, lost control of that puck. Back around towards the left point. Chopped out to center, and the Admirals push it the length of the ice as the penalty expires. Milwaukee now 4 for 4 on the kill, back to full and even strength. Vehviläinen withstood a little push there from Tanner Jeannot. And here comes Clendenning out of his defensive zone. Up ahead, Barash fires in transition. It's high and wide right. Off the end glass on Ingram and tossed back down deep by Cleveland. 2 minutes into this third period, we're still tied at 1. Fortier battling hard, able to push one in the direction of Gallant inside his offensive blue line. Cleveland collects in their own zone now as Prapavesis and Summerby toss out to center for Abbott Gerdakis, former RIT Tiger in the college ranks, and this year having a outstanding rookie pro season with the ECHL's Toledo Walleye before signing with Cleveland just about a week ago. Up the near boards, Gerdakis had it held in by Atwall, but then Vigneault picked his pocket. End of a long shift for Sam. Sends it in deep. Gerdakis applies some pressure. Vigneault doesn't take the chance to change. Turned over in front. Shot blocked for Turkoff. Ingram with a great save on Gerdakis there after the play broke down. The Admirals push it out to their own blue line, but it gets hung up and finally will be tossed to center.
Oh, good job by Gerdakis on the forecheck. He created all that, and it gave him got him a good chance, probably his best chance since he's been with the Monsters.
No doubt. Nice attempt, Olivier Spinorama backhander, but fought off by Vehviläinen, and then heads up behind the net. The puck was dumped down, and it hit an Admiral player who was trying to get back to his feet in the helmet, but a penalty has been called, and we'll wait and see who's guilty.
Carlson, interference.
Looks like he was holding on to that Milwaukee player who was down towards the ice, so off goes Carlson here. The Monsters will face another penalty kill against this top-ranked league-wide power play for Milwaukee, who's already 1 for 5 with the extra man tonight.
Yeah, just too many opportunities. You just cannot afford the way they move this puck around. And so they're checking the glass here.
Take a look at the penalty here. You see, well, first the shot from Olivier. This is a great spinorama on that right dot and a good blocker save for Vehviläinen. The top of your screen, you see there that Carlson was hung up with his counterpart for Milwaukee, and that's where the penalty stems from. So Carlson, who has the Cleveland goal, now watches from the box with 16:37 to go in the third period. 12,615 folks are watching from the stands here at the Fieldhouse. Just an absolutely great crowd. Another big one, and as we hit the new year in 2020, this is going to happen more and more, and the Monsters always appreciate it, and the opposing teams always know they're in for a difficult atmosphere when they come to Cleveland.
Yeah, there's always great crowds, especially this second half of the season here. at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. The fans get the winter feeling, and they're out to support the Monsters.
Long delay here.
There's a glass.
Another facilities issue is.
So I saw Lonnie come out. Lonnie came out on the ice. Lonnie King, one of the major fixer-upper guy in the whole building. He knows something about everything, and
yes, he does. You have a question, you call Lonnie, and he'll tell you exactly what's what. Well, we have a second here waiting through this delay. Let's take a look, Jock, at all of the call-ups the Monsters have endured recently to the NHL's Columbus Blue Jackets. 8 guys currently up, including Matisse Giblenix, Gabe Carlson, Jacob Lilia, Ryan McInnes. A lot of these guys, too, recalled under emergency conditions, including Nathan Gerby, Kevin Stenlund, Andrew Peak, and Eric Robinson were recalled earlier, remain up there. Peak's injured right now. But that's 8 impact players for this Monsters team.
Pretty good hockey players.
And they're all now impact players in the NHL, some of them for the first time. Others, like Nathan Gerby, just played in their 400th career NHL game, but everyone's contributing at both levels right now. Makes for a pretty cool team feeling between the two organizations at the NHL and AHL level.
Yeah, it's a great situation, and it's good for those guys. They get their opportunity. They're working hard. They're playing well, so all the best to them. Love to have them here, but it's great to see them up there and succeeding.
Pretty close to even with the specialty teams tonight. You see the Admirals 1 for 5 on the power play and nearly 2 for 6. Wow, Rem Pitlick went off the end glass, just missed from in close. So the Monsters face their 6th penalty kill now after the interference minor goes in Carlson's column. Here come the Admirals into the O zone. Carr headed off at the pass there by Cleveland's Dylan Simpson. Somehow held on to that puck. Those two players careen into the near wall. Minute and a half to go on the Carlson penalty. Foot race here for Derek Barash, and he wins it. Sending it the length of the ice, and Fortier will peel back, as will all 4 Cleveland penalty killers for a change.
Good job by the penalty killer thus far.
Here come the Admirals across the line. They'll feed it to the far corner. Here's a name we haven't said much tonight. Cole Schneider, one of the leading scorers of this team all year. Works off the far half boards for Milwaukee. 15:40 left in the game. Tied at 1. Spinning chance. Left pad save. Vavalainen on Schneider. And it bounces around towards the Cleveland slot. Tracked there by Clendenning. He will make sure he sends it all the way down.
Good patience by Adam there. A lot of guys in that situation, they're just swinging at it. If they fan, it doesn't get out. He settles it down. He knows he's got some time. He just knows where everyone is on the ice. He's got that feel. Even if he doesn't see them, he's got that feel. Knowing where guys are.
Good play there on their own blue line. Up ahead, here's shorthanded Fortier, and he ducks underneath what could have been a devastating body check. Didn't get a shot away, killed some time. Admirals now into the offensive zone. Tolvanen, left point, sends it across the blue line. Fired down deep by Donovan. Back to him now at the center blue. Eli Tolvanen, left circle, creeps in, shoots it. Saved by Vavalainen, went straight up in the air. Knocked down without a high stick by Clendenning, and another clearance with just 5 seconds left on the penalty.
Good job by the Monsters there. Milwaukee, you can see why their power play is so good. They move it well. They're all moving. Not just the pucks moving, but the bodies are moving, and they're getting quality chances.
Monsters turn one over here, though, after the penalty concludes. Cleveland now 5 for 6 on the kill. Still tied at 1 with 5+ minutes gone in the third. Loose puck along the far side of the Monsters zone. Brett Gallant, like a battering ram, just wills that puck to center. Here's Vigneault inside the Admiral zone. Neutralized by the defenseman. The puck is grabbed by the goaltender Ingram, and some shoving after the play again. This time it's Brett Gallant tied up with Mika Salamaki, and so you know he won't be shying away from any of that stuff, as looks like tempers will settle for now.
Yeah. Golly, this is his type of game.
Hey fans, Friday, January 31st is Cleveland Rocks Night at the Fieldhouse. As the first 10,000 fans will receive a 100.7 WMMS, the Buzzard t-shirt designed by Cleveland Clothing Company. For tickets, visit clevelandmonsters.com or any Northern Ohio discount drug mart. Awesome piece of throwback Cleveland culture right there on Cleveland Rocks Night.
Yeah. Well, we got Stefan Matteau coming back, which he was out for, so we were basically down to 3 lines when he was in there for the last 5 minutes of that 6 minutes of this period. So
Finally back to 10 forwards, but that's it for the shorthanded Monsters. What else is new? Off the draw, good release there out of the left circle for Fix-Wolanski. At even strength, 14 minutes remain in the game. We're tied at 1. Right point, Clendenning holds it in, walks to the center. Blue tried to cut back. That time, no luck, as it was sniffed out well and offered the length of the ice by Milwaukee's Lucas Craggs, but icing against the ads. Face off back into the offensive zone for Cleveland. Hey fans, don't miss a minute of AHL action this year with AHL TV, featuring cutting-edge technology, interactive features, and fan-friendly subscription prices. Available on desktop, tablet, mobile, and OTT devices, laptops too. You can watch where you want, when you want, the way you want. Visit the AHL.com/AHLTV to sign up now. Off the face-off, Mateau with a hard shot there, and that hurt the guy that stepped in front of it. It's down in a pile for a moment.
Cross-check.
And now, penalties coming up, and so the Monsters are going to have a power play here, and this will be a big opportunity when we come back. Download the Monsters mobile app for free at the App Store or Google Play today. 5:19 left in the third. Monsters/Lumberjacks 2, Admirals 1. And 5-on-5 hockey here between two teams who do not care for one another, if today's game is any indication. In behind the net in his offensive zone, Maxime Fortier, former Halifax Moosehead captain in the Quebec Major Junior League. It's sent around the end wall, picking up Anton Carlson. Carlson scored the first goal of the game. That was Turcoff, I beg your pardon. Back to the right point, Clendenning holds the line. Carlson down from the left point, helps hold the zone on the left boards. Turcoff to the high slot, feeds now Vigneault in the right circle. Sent back, right point, Clendenning. One head fake, no shooting lane. Sends it in behind the net, and Fortier drew a penalty. Monsters are headed to the power play, but a quick whistle from the official there, unless Fortier's getting one too. He is.
Embellishment.
Fortier's going to get the embellishment here. I was wondering why they blew the whistle when Cleveland touched, but it's because there are penalties in both directions with Fortier for embellishment and a hook for Atwall. Jock, what do you think? Here it is on the replay.
No. That's not embellishment. He lost his edge. It's definitely a hook because the stick's parallel.
He's trying to turn around the net and not step on the net, and he fell down. That's not hard to understand.
Hey, what? It's not like he dove he didn't throw his arms back. He didn't. He was trying to gain his balance.
Well, Fortier can't believe it, and I'm in his camp right now. So it'll be 4-on-4. 4:36 left in the third. Monsters with a 2-1 lead. Cleveland going with Scott, Sherwood, Doyle, Summerby, and Simpson. Big ozone face-off win for Scott. Simpson from the left point in front. Scott, one-timer, big save by Ingram. Got it with the right pad.
Nice face-off play right there. Good play by Dylan Simpson walking down the wall.
Now Scott finds room towards the net. Backhander Ingram, another stop, and he gets the whistle.
Two great chances by Justin Scott.
Ingram just pulled that puck out of the net. Now the whistle had sounded and all that, but never a good look. There's the first chance from the overhead angle there on the one-timer, and here is Scott out of the corner.
Oh, that was shot in after.
Yeah, there it
the
is.
Whistle, yeah. It was never covered up.
Quick whistle there helps the Admirals. Monsters, though, still with the lead. Just 4:19 left in the third period. And let's just remind you one more time, in case you weren't clear, Milwaukee's not just a quality team. They're by far the #1 team in the league this year in the overall standings.
Yes.
Just for
Only
context.
5 losses so far this season.
Not bad. Here's Novak, former college teammate of Ryan Collins and Steve Johnson at the University of Minnesota. Monsters out of their defensive zone. Good job by Simpson to push that towards Sherwood. Sherwood tries to take it from Donovan. Admiral defenseman able to escape. Tolvanen on the left wing entry. Neutralized by Summerby. Puck loose to Simpson. Minute 10 remaining in the 4-on-4 as a pass goes off his skate, and then Barash almost was taken out by his teammate Summerby as the puck still fought for at center. Donovan angles it to the near wall. Sherwood able to get there before Davies. Leaves it behind his net for Adam Clendenning. Up the right side, Barash. Former Mercyhurst Laker into the offensive zone. Barash spins back on the left point. Still has it. Walks the blue line. It came over the line and back to center. Clendening will grab it there. After enduring early in this game a injury, it looked like to his face or his mouth, Barash wearing the cage as he did in his college days. Here's Clendening, quick release, tip from Vigneault, it went wide.
Almost had the same play from the second goal with Vigneault chipping that with his stick this time instead of his leg.
Milwaukee not going anywhere. 2:45 left in regulation, and the Monsters still a 1-goal lead. Here's Stefan Matteau into the offensive zone, leaves it for Clendening, returns it to Matteau, fired from a sharp angle, it deflected behind the net. Matteau slides it out left point, Clendening. His pass across as the penalty's released. Summerby towards the cage, it was blocked. Into the near corner now, Fortier picks it up. On the edge of the trapezoid, walks it up the right boards. Back to the right point, Summerby gathers it off his skate blades, fires it into the corner. Vigneault cancels out with his counterpart as Matteau swoops in with possession. Slid back to the left point, flicked towards the net by Simpson. Knocked down, and the Admirals grab it. Good pass ahead, one-on-one. Great move as the Monsters avoid a penalty there, as twisting to the ice was the puck carrier without so much as a shot on goal. Given away though, Pitlick in front, one-timer, they score! The goal to Richard, his 11th and 14th point. So a big finish for the Admirals there, and we're tied at 2 with 1:50 remaining in the third. Clutch goal for Milwaukee, they're fired up. Draw controlled by the Admirals, they send it all the way down.
Oh, he's another missed call by a linesman.
Sure could have been icing from this vantage point.
Yeah.
Near corner, defensive zone. Monsters battling, out to the point. Right side, long shot, easy stop. Vehviläinen snares it from Donovan in the glove. Clock halts, minute 25 to go in the third. Shots are 25-24 for Milwaukee, as the Admirals have just fought back to tie it. It's actually Richard's second point of the game, as he picked up the secondary on Donovan's initial Milwaukee goal. So Matteau with 2 assists, Richard a goal and an assist now. Clendening, Pitlick, Fix-Wolansky, Tolvanen, all with 1 assist. 1:25 left in the third. 2-2.
I liked the way the Monsters were playing. They were on the attack. They were spending a ton of time down in Milwaukee's zone.
Battling off this D-zone draw. Simpson can't push it over his own blue line, but Matteau, with a good stick handling move, is able to do it. Connected with Scott. Turcoff can't peel it away from the Milwaukee defenseman. Dumped down the near side by Josh Healy. In behind the Cleveland net. Bad bounce off the dasher. And that was cleaned up well by Summerby. Up ice, here's Turcoff with a minute to go in the third. Tied at 2. Did collision far corner, offensive zone. Nearly popped the helmet off Sam Vigneault. He'll settle that back down on his noggin as Milwaukee will skate to center with 45 seconds left. Inside the Cleveland line, Simpson took it away. Quick up to Barash. Dumps and chases on the end wall. Donovan reverses it away from Derek Barash's pressure. Fix-Wolansky delivers a good hit on the near side of his O zone. The Monsters pitchfork it back to the cross corner. And the Admirals grab it with now just 25 seconds left in regulation. And the game still tied at 2 apiece. Richard battling down. And now we've got a whistle. The puck
Off the linesman.
may have.
That stung him.
Yeah. Right in front of the Cleveland bench. So that'll stop time. 20.1 seconds left in this third period of play. Well, Jack, this has been an exciting game. The Monsters proving after a win in Toronto on New Year's Eve, and now this showing against Milwaukee, they can play against some of the top teams in the league. And this is even considering the fact that they're so shorthanded right now, as Monsters trainer Tom Borden helps the linesman. Taking that up high was C.J. Murray, and so good job for T-Bone to look after everybody out there.
Yeah.
But the Monsters proving they can compete with these good teams, but it's even more remarkable to me, Jack, like I said, to do so while you're down so many bodies and so many regulars.
A solid game here tonight for sure. They have really battled, and this is a physical, fast, exciting game. The Monsters have played good. They've played well defensively, keeping the Admirals to 26 shots.
Well, as we await a return to gameplay here, it looks like Our linesman's okay. Little cut on the left side of his head after he took that puck, but fitting on a night where in the first intermission we met the Monsters support staff. They get so much screen time tonight.
Yeah.
Should have had Tom Borden mic'd up right now.
You might not. The coaches are talking to the refs, so you might not like to hear what they're saying. They don't look too happy with them.
Yeah, Mike Eaves looks displeased here with Reed Anderson, with whom he was just communicating. Takes a lot to get Coach Eaves to shrug his shoulders like that. Face-off comes back inside the Cleveland zone. 20.1 seconds left in the third. I think the displeasure there was in regards to the placement of the draw.
I mean, the puck would have went in the Monsters bench. The linesman went off him, so I don't know how they get the advantage.
Off the face-off, dump behind Vavalainen. 14 seconds to go, tied at 2. Monsters launch it out of their own zone. Luckily, it stays in play there for Barash, but it does go down for icing, touched up with 8.1 seconds left in the third. Now, Jock, for fans, they might say to themselves, 8.1 seconds, what can you do in that time? But we know if you can win a draw clean, that's plenty of time in the offensive zone.
Lots of time. Yeah, lots of time. Yeah, and a good job by Donovan there, because he could have put his hand up and grabbed that puck, but he knew there wasn't much time and he wanted the icing so they can try to win this face-off, like you said.
And they do. Center point, Donovan, 5 seconds left, gathers, fires wide left on Vavalainen. Mateau gets there, 1 second left, and the horn sounds, and that's it. Regulation is not enough. A late goal for Milwaukee's Anthony Richard sends us into overtime. Their Monsters are plugging all kinds of holes right now. By the way, Monsters' last overtime game was a 3-2 shootout loss at Laval on December the 10th. December 14th at Chicago, a 3-2 overtime loss for the Admirals. That was their last extra time game. Puck down, we're underway in OT. 3-on-3 overtime. Monsters in white from right to left, Milwaukee in green from left to right. Admirals stalk into the offensive zone. Davies down to the near corner for Freddie Gaudreau. Gaudreau in the far corner, out to the high slot for Davies again. He'll connect now with Carr. Here's Carr into the left circle, loads, shot blocked for Clendenning, but Vavalainen made the save on the tipped shot and hung on. That was a tougher save than it might have appeared because Clendenning's attempt to block it turned into a tip.
Yeah, good job by Vaney getting out high on the top of his crease here. And that puck changes direction, but he's got such good positioning. And the hard part is to hold on to that rebound so that Carr can't, because Carr's going to get by Clendenning there.
Monsters have Justin Scott, Dylan Simpson, and Cole Sherwood, I beg your pardon, on the ice. And thanks to Simpson getting into that faceoff dot, Cleveland wins that important defensive zone draw. Possession is 9/10 of success in 3-on-3 overtime. Monsters have it for now. Here's Simpson. Meanwhile, on the ice, Davies, Schneider for Milwaukee. Monsters set up in the offensive zone. Simpson works it back out towards the point. Connects now, out high. Sherwood left it behind him, recovered, now recoils to center.
Good job by Cole stopping there after the puck bounced on him.
Sherwood in the high slot had it poked away. Now here come the Admirals again. Pitlick leaves it on the right point for Schneider. Back for Rem Pitlick. Pitlick back to Schneider with room, loads, fires, save Vavalainen, covers the rebound. Another big save for a guy who's stepping up huge for the Monsters right now, Jock, Vaney Vavalainen.
Well, look how high he is out on top of his crease, taking all the angle away. And then he shoots his glove up there and traps it.
Daniel Carr, the reigning AHL MVP, back out. Davies and Frederick Gaudreau. On the other side, Sam Vigneault takes the draw. He's on the ice with Clendenning and Derek Barash. Draw controlled by Milwaukee. They don't like the look, but they'll keep it in the offensive zone. They'll give it to Carr, right circle. Carr back to the forehand, couldn't get a shot away. Clendenning captures, retreats behind the net. Davies takes it away from him. Davies left circle for Milwaukee with 3:15 left in overtime. Walks it around to the right point. Now retreats to center. He's back in, but onside. according to the linesman. The fans don't agree.
These guys are having a tough game on the lines, I'll tell you that.
Gaudreau sends it all the way back down. The goaltender then, Ingram, fires it to neutral ice. Here's Carr, right circle, lost the handle, regains it, feeds Davies, tries to tuck on Vavalainen, knocked out of midair. Not sure if Vaney ever had to get a piece of it or if the defenseman baseballed it back to neutral ice. Tolvanen recovers. Monsters for the moment have Mateau, Fix-Wolansky, and Adam Clendenning on the ice. Here's Santini, the defenseman, shoots one, saved by Vavalainen. Picked up there by Tommy Novak. 2.5 to go in overtime, halfway through this 3-on-3 period. In onside, Novak, right circle, cuts towards the front of the net, and Vavalainen dives and poke checks one ahead. It's picked up by Fix-Wolansky, but he recoils. And Clendenning will leave it back for Trey once again.
He's exhausted. Clendenning's got to get off.
Edmonton native Fix-Wolansky across the line, trying to win it into the slot, fired Mateau, he scores! Mateau's third point of the night, wins it in overtime for Cleveland. A 3-2 final, and the Monsters take down the AHL's top team.
Well, Steph Mateau, he's been setting guys up all night. It was his turn to get set up, and a nice play by Trey Fix-Wolansky as he spins and finds Mateau. And just another one that just squeezes by Ingram. Just get the puck away quick, and it just squeezes through. And it's a great win here for the Monsters here tonight.
A terrific celebration, too, for Mateau. Leaps in the air as the Monsters do the Lumberjacks proud. In the throwback unis, they win it in dramatic fashion. Mateau in overtime from Fix-Wolansky at 3:54 of the extra session. The Monsters back over 500. And who cares about the personnel issues when you take down the American Hockey League's #1 team, the Milwaukee Admirals, the way Cleveland did tonight. Back-to-back big wins, New Year's Eve in Toronto, at home tonight to start 2020 on the right note. This is a serious achievement.
Yeah. Well, Jock, how fun was that? Stéphane Mateau, the big hero, and he's a guy that's, he's been, at least throughout this season, one of the clutch go-to guys for the Monsters. That was one of what I believe were 3 overtime winners for him this year. But what a moment. A classic night at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse there. Fun to watch that big win and Stéphane Mateau and his teammates celebrate.
Yeah, Stéphane, he really stepped up this season with all his clutch scoring. And, it was probably not brought in for offense. But when we lost a lot of players to call-ups and things like that, Stéphane really stepped up, and it was a big win, was playing shorthanded and against the top team in the league, and a big confidence builder for the team.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Definitely a situation. It was a theme throughout the year for the Monsters in which they were playing without a lot of their top players, got to Columbus or injured. And so to sort of prove to yourself that you can compete against the best in the league, that Lumberjacks weekend win, at least that win on Friday night there, the third, that was a message not only to the rest of the league, but to themselves, I think, for the Monsters, that they can compete with the very best no matter the situation.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, they won that game and then on to the next one. And it was just a huge weekend all around, being shorthanded, like you said, and a lot of guys stepping up from lower roles prior to that weekend, getting a lot more ice time and really taking advantage of it.
Well, talking here with Jock Callender and wrapping up our first episode of our Monsters Flashback presented by HDS Brand Solutions. A big win, Jocko, on the first leg of Lumberjacks weekend. Next time out, we'll take a look at the second game in Lumberjacks weekend. Another huge victory against the same quality team, the Milwaukee Admirals. But good to see you. Thanks for doing this, and we'll see you next time around on Monsters Flashback.
See you, Tony. Take care, buddy.